Hello, Mike Troy, editor of Retail Leader here in Irving, Texas at the Symphony Retail AI Accelerate Conference. I'm joined by Shana Finch, and you have an interesting area that your responsibility for, fresh and center store. You don't often hear those two combined.
Yeah, exactly.
They're usually considered separate areas. What's going on with the combination of the two?
Yeah, so typically you see a lot of time across retailers and even wholesalers that they separate the two. They think they need two separate engines because they're so, different animals, I would say, right? They require different needs, and we can do it in one engine. And so that's the point. We want to say, hey, combine your fresh and center store together. And in that way, you have less data discrepancy. You really combine the two, and you have one version of the truth.
How does combining the two help a retailer uncover different insights that might not surface if they're separate?
Right. So think of a baguette, right? So you have a baguette, and then you have the sleeve to the baguette. You have the sticker you put on there. So a lot of times we see retailers that are managing the actual baguette that they produce in the store or ship in frozen, and then the supply items separately in a different engine. And so they're running out of stock of that actual sleeve that's on a baguette. Or for example, if you go to a grocery store, sometimes you see the rotisserie chicken, the bags they come in, and a lot of times the bags, they run out of the specific bags, they're wrapping it in aluminum because they ran out of it. So it's really to be able to tie the two together. From that point of view for finished goods, but even if you think of produce, for example, okay, you may use strawberries to sell directly, from the small case, and then you may use it in your deli and bakery department as well. So you need to know and tie the demand together.
So obviously very different dynamics. Fresh category as a trip driver versus center store, which is, you hear a lot about the decline of center store and transitioning online. How are you factoring those two things together? Right,
so center store is absolutely shrinking, that's for sure. Everyone wants fresh goods, also having the ready prepared meals. So you see center store shrinking, the perimeter expanding, and essentially what we can do with our solutions is to be able to realize the impact. For example, look at frozen pizzas. If a grocery retailer decides to start making those ready-made pizzas, they're going to have a slight impact to the frozen pizzas. So you need to be able to estimate that impact so you can forecast correctly and not overstock.
That's an excellent use case. Are there other examples like that where a center store item would have an impact on a fresh item?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be honest. I like to make spinach and artichoke dip.
Spinach and artichoke dip.
Yes, but I really actually prefer the canned artichoke because it's easier to cut instead of getting the fresh artichoke.
Okay, makes sense.
So you can have those impacts. So really with the AI and forecasting, it's to be able to estimate consumer behavior and see the impacts to each other. So.
And if you don't have that combined, you would miss that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, very good. Thank you very much.
Good.